Okay, welcome to part two. I'll try to make this a little bit quicker. All right, I left off in part one. I started going to nightclubs. Um, there were no black women in aerobics back then, and I got used to fucking white girls. This was my first time. Well, first time for everything. I only had one woman before that, including a hooker, and then there was one girl I tried to get at in college. Okay, but so my experience was really limited with women until I started teaching aerobics, and I started fucking a lot of women at aerobics. So I got me used to it. By the way, being a bookworm, I read how to fuck girls. I read everything I could. I talked about a book called Him in high school that I read. You remember I was bookworm, and it taught me how to control my orgasm. Okay, and control my dick. Before you guys ask, I've said this since 2002. I don't know how to find the book. It's out of print. It's called H.I.M. There was one out called Her. It taught women about their bodies. Him taught us about our bodies, and they had exercises in there for me to do. I never mastered all the exercises, by the way, but it gave me dick control. So also being the aerobic instructor, so I'm fucking these girls like 3-4 hours, and the bed would get so wet, my sheet would be soaked all the way through, and my mattress, I had to flip the fucking mattress over. Okay, every day, almost every day, because they were coming in, or I'd go to their place. So anyway, there I was with a supercharged dick, hitting the nightclubs, and I started going to white nightclubs. Okay, I was trying to preface that because I was teaching, white folks, white women, helping them get in shape, stuff like that. Black women didn't come to aerobics back then because their hair would get messed up. All right. In later '80s, the Jerry curl got popular. No black folks go in there, leaking Jerry curl juice all over the place and shit. So anyway, um, so continuing, I started going to white nightclubs. One used to be called Bentley's way back in the days. You can Google these things, by the way, fellas. Black Angus. We have a restaurant called Black Angus, but they did a nightclub at night. You can Google this also. Check me up on my stuff. Okay, don't just take my word for it. Check me out. I gave you my high school. I gave you, I'm giving you shit. Sacramento City College. Okay. So anyway, I learned in a very racially harsh environment. When I would finally get a girl to dance with me, as I got more strength in the game, more power in the game, I would have white girls snatched away from me and scolded for dancing with a black man just 2 feet away from me. That's happened more than once. Or they would get the looks from their friends, their girlfriends. Because what would happen is that, these women were going to white clubs looking for white yuppies. That's the environment I was going to. I don't know if they still use the phrase yuppies, young and upwardly mobile professionals, guys with their degrees and all that kind of stuff. So I understood, though. A lot of people accuse me of being a racist, but I actually understand. Okay, that they're there looking for husbands. They want that 2.5 kids. They didn't have SUVs back then. If you drove SUV, the big ass, looked like big ass station wagon. But they wanted the station wagon with the kids. That's what they're looking for. That kind of thing. A husband that would work his ass to death, had that 2 weeks vacation, to the white little picket fence. They do PTA, not have to work. Okay. Then there's my black ass. You got the black guy, or whatever their family says they should marry. Come on. Okay. So that's the environment that I learned how to hunt women in. Very harsh environment. And it took a long time to build my courage. Because remember, I prefaced that earlier by saying I also had racial insecurity. Because I started, I see how, black folks are treated in the United States. I got into the business world, and I felt how black folks were being treated in the workplace. Okay? So that caused even more racial inferiority. I can't even say the fucking word this morning. But you guys know what I'm saying. So there I'm hunting, white women. in a very harsh environment. What gave me confidence was the fact that I knew I could fuck the shit out of them. I could fuck the holy shit out. This is before I even started doing passionate stuff and becoming more passionate. I knew physically I had what it took to go to where they could get theirs again and again. Plus I learned all the tricks of fingering the clit and stuff like that. Hitting the G spot. Because I read books on it. I don't know where you guys worship this David Shade guy, and I think he talks about the G spot and stuff like that. But he probably read the same books I did. And more power to him. I was doing this way back, I learned this stuff way back in 80s. And I think we're both old though. So we probably read the same goddamn books. Anyway, that's what gave me, knowing that I could do that when I looked at a woman, that gave me personal power. Okay, your power in the game is important to you. You got to feel powerful, like a powerful man. When you feel like a powerful man, you radiate powerful energy, and women are attracted to powerful men. I used to have white women come up to me, smile, because I stand there with look like pissed, or I guess that was a pissed off look. And I know you guys, your brother's gonna write me the same bullshit. Nothing we can do about it. Try to smile a little bit. I hated when they did that shit. It's like they feel like they're above me psychologically. To come up tell me to smile. Like I'm your fucking Mandingo. That's what I would think, Mandingo was a black slave that fucked the white master woman. Okay? That's what goes through my head. I'm not your fucking slave, bitch. Slavery ended. So, come on, smile. So anyway, I never did actually learn to cheese it and step and fetch for him. Hey, hi. But I learned to have a more of a confident look and smile. I had to learn this stuff, piece by piece by studying other people that were successful. So while I was going to clubs, I always, check out the trendy boys. The white guys were successful. If a black guy came in and he was successful, I would see what he was doing. Okay, so I had firsthand knowledge of what was really going to work for people. I knew I couldn't become this, trendy white guy. As I gained even more power in the game, it's come forward into the 90s. By then I started working or dancing at a place called America Live, and that's where my game actually blew up. But it was dance games I talked about. I studied dance, jazz dance, so I could dance a little bit. I got better there. Okay, that's where I learned to also feel passionate about dance. It became a passion instead of a struggle. And that's where I learned to dance passionately or sexually on the dance floor. And that's where what drew women to me. I became one of the club dancers. There was a group of us. They let us in for free, and because we attracted women. Me and a couple other black guys and this one white dude who was a good dancer. There's always a white guy that hangs out with black dudes. That's always a good dancer. You guys notice that. He later on, these knuckleheads talk about you didn't have something for that. There was a girl that I showed. I call her the belly dancer. He's the one that actually married her. Okay. And I'll have to show you guys her photo. I'll put it up here, maybe. Anyway, let's see. I was a club dancer. I would dance on a stage, a little box, speaker box, and I got laid every time I went there. I actually had the potential to get laid. Sometimes I didn't take women home. I'd wait. Okay. But because I was a dancer, there would be these white women that would look up at you, and they wanted being black became popular kind of in the 90s for a while, and white women were lowering their I don't know what the word to say, their choices. It's not really lowering because we're all human beings, but I don't know how to phrase this in a way that won't make my black brothers pissed off. But they were changing what they thought of as potential dating partners. Okay, I didn't mean to say lower, but it felt like that during that time period. Okay, anyway, and these were, I was going to America Live had the black section downstairs, the white section was upstairs. Hip hop was downstairs. Dance music was upstairs. It was before, really kind of before techno was popular. It was a mixture of all that stuff. You guys heard the good stuff from those days. That was some badass shit though. So there I am getting laid. My power's growing even more. I'm getting women left and right. It was easy. It became fucking easy. But it was all dance game. When that place closed down, because they mismanaged, I had to learn real game then. I'd already fucked close to 100 women by then. And my power over women grew also. I started branching out to other nightclubs. It was at that America Live where I've talked about one girl I met that night. And I went over and, I went home, called her up, went over there, did some shit to her. Sex shit. Anyway, you guys who are on my site, you know what I'm talking about. You don't need to get all shitty about the shit. So anyway, I started branching out to other clubs. I quit being a dance geek, because if you're on a stage, that's cool. But if you're in a nightclub, like I started going to like, started going to like house music, because that came out, that was coming out, getting real popular here in California. Some black guys in Chicago invented the shit. So anyway, it started spreading. And, white folks, they like that shit because it's fast. They didn't like the slow hip-hop music. White folks back then, they liked, rock music, death music. And then house music was fast too. So they get in there skipping around. So I started going to house music clubs and raves and shit. So I started also branching into other areas. Okay? And I learned, by then, it was no big deal to go up and just take a bitch to the floor. Don't even say shit to them. Okay? Towards the late 90s, that's what I was doing. Walking up to chicks, grab the hand, just walk the floor. I was bored by then. The game was just fucking easy. So anyway, that's my life story. I think we're getting ready to go to coffee. So if you have more questions about me, how I learned to game women, it was done one female at a time. I started with, as I said, being a good dancer. That's vitally important. If you go to a nightclub, you got to learn how to dance. And I don't mean going out there and doing a chicken dance. That kind of shit. Or the white guys, they do that shoveling shit dance. In the old days, the old ones, you ever see them do that? Like a shoveling shit. You gotta learn how to move. You gotta learn how to dance. Period. And the more sexual you can dance, like, study the black folks. Just go to a black club, watch the brothers hit it. They're back there rolling, smacking the ass. Do what they do. Learn how to dance like they do. Okay? And I'm not being racist about the shit. Black folks, we invented all kind of dances in this country. All kind of motherfucking dances. And even this back was a dance. Back, I know Rosebud would recognize this one. Back in the days, this one. That was a dance. Just called the prep. That was a dance. So, study what black folks do. And it'll improve your dance ability. Like I said, all the white guys hung up dance with black dudes, they were good dancers too. Okay? And again, I'm not being a racist. There's always some knucklehead think I'm being a fucking racist, man. Fuck that. Peace.